staff. Honorable members, I think we've got an agenda that have been sent to all of us by our support staff. So now we can start with our subcommittee meeting. Can you then flight the agenda, Mr. Mwepe, while we're still also waiting for Mercy?
Chair.
Yes, Honorable Komane.
Good evening, Chair. Thank you very much for the opportunity. But Chair, I think starting the meeting, it was going to be prudent for us because we know the chairperson of the committee to be Mr. James. We need to be taken through as what is happening, and then we also see there's an amendment to members of the subcommittee. We also need to be taken through as to what is happening and then where are we at the moment. Thank you very much.
No, thank you very much, Honorable Komane. I was gonna address the subcommittee in the first item of the opening. Except that honorable members want me to proceed and explain why I'm sharing this meeting today and why Honorable Ntuli is part of this subcommittee today. So can I hear from the honorable members? Because I thought that we'll then flight the agenda, and then in my opening, I will explain why I'm sharing this meeting and why Honorable Ntuli is part of the meeting. Thank you.
Oh, no, Chair, I think it's fine. Let us wait for the agenda to be flighted, and then you'll make the necessary engagements. Thank you very much.
No, thank you very much, Honorable Komane. Can the agenda be flighted, Mr. Mwepe and Mercy?
No, can you see, Chair?
Yes, yes, we can. Honorable members, this is the agenda for this subcommittee meeting with only 7 items. And if you allow me, honorable members, who are in the first item, which is now the opening and the welcoming remarks. Allow me, honorable members, one, to explain why I'm sharing this meeting as part of this subcommittee. Honorable members will understand that we've got a month that we have started this process, and of which now we've got a challenge that the chair of the portfolio committee, Honorable James Njonjo, is not part of this meeting because he has got personal family commitments that need his attention. So now I will share, as per the request of the portfolio committee chair, that I must share this session for today on his behalf. And the second issue, because in terms of the subcommittee, parties, there was an allocation of members as per individual parties, and of each in the ANC, we had 4 members, including the chair. And now we have then agreed that Honorable Ntuli will then represent the chair as the 4th person to our organization, which is the African National Congress. So that's the first part, honorable members, that we thought that we must bring to your attention. Thank you. Anyone of honorable members want to speak on this issue?
Honorable Chair.
Yes, Honorable Kibi.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Good afternoon, Chair, and the members and colleagues on the platform. Chair, I think I would move for the acceptance of the explanation that you have just made, and also the additions by the ANC as to, based on the challenge faced by the chairperson of the committee. I therefore move that we accept that you share the meeting and also the person that is also here with us from the ANC. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Kibi. I can see the hand of Honorable Gondwe and then Honorable Malumane.
Good afternoon, Chair and colleagues. Chair, I'm starting to get a bit concerned. I don't know how to put this, but Honorable James is the chairperson of the committee, but I'm starting to get a bit worried that he's not always there, to chair the committee, especially when we have important discussions such as this one. I'm not entirely sure how Mantuli will be able to contribute towards the deliberations, given that she wasn't a part and parcel of the subcommittee from the word go. And I take your point around the fact that you have 4 members as the ANC that are supposed to be sitting on this subcommittee, but I want to be honest and say that I'm concerned. It's not the first time that it's happened where we've had to, in fact, in other instances, I recall us, literally finding out, at the last minute that he wasn't going to be available to chair a meeting. And so, Chair, I know that you are the whip, and I would appreciate it if you could flag this and the concerns we have around this. This is a very important committee, and we really need to have stability when it comes to having the chair present and being at the helm of this committee and ensuring that we do our work effectively. Thank you very much.
No, thank you very much, Honorable Gondwe. Honorable, just hold on. Honorable Malumane, then Honorable Komane, and then Honorable Smith.
Afternoon, colleagues and our staff. Let me also say we really appreciate for you to be available every time when the chair is not in due to the issues of family commitments. But we really appreciate, and then I'm seconding that you can continue chair the meeting, because we cannot maybe just say because the chair is not in and then we refer the meeting back. So I'm proposing that, I'm supporting that you continue to chair the meeting based on the reasons that you stated to us. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Malumane. Honorable Komane.
Thank you once more, Chair. Chair, there's no dispute in you chairing the session. However, we want to raise the concerns that has been raised by Honorable Gondwe, that it is not fair for this subcommittee, and equally it is not fair to the process of this nature. And I want maybe to be clarified as to, we are at the final stage. We are deliberating on the candidate that we need to forward to the National Assembly. Now we've got a member who has not been part of the subcommittee. What deliberations, how is she going to be able to deliberate? But given the fact that we shortlisted, we interviewed, and there were so many developments around that. So is it that the honorable member that has now joined the subcommittee is just going to go with the flow, or what is it going to be? Is the process going to be fair? Because for me, seated here, it is neither going to be fair to the committee and to the applicants as well, because the deliberations of the entire participants of the process is of paramount importance. Now we've got a new member where we have got to deliver. We are at the final stage of deliberations. So maybe if the committee can take me into confidence as to what is going to happen to that. Thank you very much for now.
Thank you very much, Honorable Komane, and then Honorable Sibisi. Honorable Sibisi.
Oh, sorry. Thanks, Chair. Can you hear me now?
Yes, Honorable Sibisi.
No, I think one can advise. Again, I will concur with Honorable Komane. We don't have any problem with you chairing the meeting, but I personally have a problem with the procedure, because the matter was supposed to be brought in front of this committee, and then we nominate the chair democratically. We are going to allow your party to suggest the name, then we will also support whatever name they will throw in. Now, when it comes, because remember, even the chairperson was voted by us. So for now, when it just comes on top, then we are giving that this is the chairperson. It's a little bit unfair, but nevertheless, I accept you as the acting chairperson. Secondly, I think we are throwing Honorable Ntuli under the bus, definitely. And you are also spoiling whatever good work we have done, because definitely Honorable Ntuli can't participate in something that she was never a part of it. Even initially, now we are talking of a final stage. So when we are bringing in her in a final stages, what are you expecting her to say? I mean, I've got a problem. And again, this will cause you a problem when now we have a problem in supporting this, because you can't bring in some board who has never been a part, and you are bringing her in a very important stage where we're supposed to recommend a candidate. I'm not sure, Honorable Chair, whether did you consider that? Thank you.
No, thank you very much, Honorable Sibisi. I can see the hand of Honorable Kibi. And I will also request that if the support staff want to advise on this issue, can raise their hands, Mr. Mwepe or Masi or Mr. Biel. But Honorable
oh, okay, sorry, but I've raised my hands long time ago, Honorable Chair.
Oh, no, I didn't see your hand, Mr. Mwepe, but Honorable Kibi.
Thank you once more, Honorable Chair of the meeting. I think I hear what the honorable members are raising around the meeting of today. But what I want to say to all of us here, honorable members, is that sometimes there are unforeseen circumstances that lead to such situations. I want to appeal to the honorable members, after maybe we have been advised also by the staff, to say let's proceed, because we don't want to delay this process further. We've been delaying it. It's already a month, as the chairperson already said at the beginning of the meeting. My appeal is that, yes, the concerns are really valid. One does understand what is the concerns that are being raised by the honorable members. But honorable members, we need to finalize this process and move forward Honorable Ntuli is the only person. The majority of the members that were part of the process from the beginning, of the people that are here, are people that were part of the process. She's the only one. I don't think that would really delay or cause any harm to the process itself. But one is really looking forward to hear on the advice from the officials. Thanks, Chair. But my appeal is that let's proceed with this meeting and make the recommendations so that we can finalize the process. Thanks, Chair.
No, thank you very much, Honorable Kibi. Mr. Mwepe?
Yeah, thanks, Chairperson. And I would also like to echo more or less same sentiment that Honorable Nduli just said. Yes, if the members of the subcommittee, they still recall this particular document. I'm just sharing it, but I'm not going to present it. I'll just talk to it. We agreed. I think this document has been adopted, if I may use that word, adopted during our last engagement, of which it was the interview day, where we agreed that each and every, how are we going to proceed going forward, of which I believe that the presence of Honorable Ntuli now is just a matter of replacing the chairperson. But now what we're going to do is to deliberate. And how are we going to deliberate is that each and every member will then put 2 or 3 best candidates, of which I believe, in the absence of the chairperson, Honorable Ntuli might have communicated with the chairperson to say who are his best 2 candidates. Although in terms of the deliberation, in terms of the motivation of each and every candidate, that matter will then be subjected at the level of each and every political party that is represented in the committee, just to motivate for their candidate, if we have to go there in terms of motivating. But then Honorable Ntuli, there's nothing wrong. It's just a matter of replacing, because if honorable members will pardon with us, we are really delaying this process, and we don't want to add to delay the process of appointing a commissioner. This commissioner, position, it has been vacant for over 4 years, if I'm not mistaken. So that's how we should then allow the process to unfold. Yes, we understand the eventualities, and we are pleading with members to understand is that Honorable Ntuli is here to replace the chairperson, but the only thing he will do is just to nominate. But in terms of the deliberation, because he was not part of the interviews, then other members can deliberate. But then if we even go to the voting of if members disagree in terms of the name of the name of two best candidates, of which we are going for, maybe for 1 or whatever, we're still going to discuss that. Then Honorable Ntuli will then vote on behalf of the chairperson. I think it's procedurally fair in that way, Honorable Chair and honorable members. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mwepe. Honorable members, that's the advice.
Chair, Honorable Chairperson.
Honorable Ntuli.
Yes,
my hand is up, Chair.
No.
Yes, it's Mantuli here.
Honorable
Yes.
Ntuli, I will give you a
Yes,
chance.
I'm not contributing to the work that you've done, but I'm contributing to the subcommittee of the portfolio committee that I'm serving in. Chair and the meeting, I wanted to bring to the attention of the committee that the subcommittee is meant to be from all.
Chair, order. Order, Chair. Order.
Honorable Ntuli, can we listen to the order of Honorable Command?
Thank you very much, Chair. I think this is being unfair to the subcommittee and everybody. Chair, the order that I'm calling is that we are dealing with the matter of Mantuli. It is premature for her to respond or to make comments. We're still dealing with the matter now. If she needs to comment, she would comment later, but now we are still dealing with the matter. She cannot address us whilst we are still dealing with the matter, her matter in particular. Thank you very much. That is the order that I'm calling on. Hence, I concur with you when you said you will give her a platform at the later stage, not now. Thank you. Because we have raised our hands. We want to speak to this matter.
No,
My
thank you very much.
apology, Chairperson. I thought you've exhausted your speakers. Thank you, Chair.
No, thank you very much, Honorable Komane and Honorable Ntuli. Yes, Honorable Ntuli, I will give you an opportunity to speak, but however, because you we are discussing your name, I will only give all the other honorable members to speak, and then you will come in at a later stage. Honorable Komane, is your hand still up, or do you want to speak further?
Chair,
Yes, my chair.
up.
My hand is up, but my hand was up after
Yeah, my hand is
Honorable
also
Gondwe
up.
and Honorable. It was up after Honorable Gondwe and Honorable CBC. Can I respect the queue?
Okay, thank you. Honorable Gondwe, Honorable CBC, Honorable Malumane. Hoping that honorable members will speak on what has been be advised from Mr. Mwepe.
Thank you very
Gondwe.
much, Chair. Yes, I need clarity from Mr. Mwepe. If procedurally, if we go ahead with the inclusion of Manduli, will the legitimacy of this process, of this appointment, this is an appointment. It's not like we're going to discuss minutes only and adopt them and listen to presentations, etc. This is an appointment of a commissioner of the Public Service Commission. So I am worried about the legitimacy of this process. I would feel more comfortable if the original participants of this subcommittee deliberated on who to appoint and who not to appoint for this position. I'm worried about the legitimacy of this process. If I was a candidate, I would want the very same people that interviewed me to take a decision on whether or not I should be appointed for a particular position. Chair, it's very concerning. I mean, there is a huge elephant in this room, and we cannot ignore it and pretend as if, you know, it's all systems go. And Chair, please understand that our intention is not to delay this process any further. We were delayed the last time because we were awaiting the vetting, but even then, the last meeting that we had was also cancelled. So we want to appoint a commissioner. This is the last position that we have to fill, and we want to do that. But we want to make sure that our appointment will stand the test of the law and of scrutiny and any other, you know, protests that might be, directed towards this appointment. This is an appointment. So, Chair, I'm still very concerned. I'm not comfortable with having somebody who was not there when we shortlisted, who was not there when we conducted the interviews, who was not there when we interacted with the candidates and we listened to their responses, who was not taking notes at that time and has to rely on someone else's notes. I know that if I was a candidate, I would be worried. So please let's lend legitimacy to this process and do what is right, Chair. It's not our intention to delay this any more than it's been delayed. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Gondwe. Mr. Smith, Honorable Smith.
Chair.
Yes, Honorable Smith.
I think you should, Chair, I feel sorry for you because right now you need to take a sober decision. But please, Chair, don't play under dispute. Even if it was you, you were not going to allow such a kind of thing to happen. I mean, for us to have a credible appointment, we need to do a right thing. My proposal will be, maybe we postpone this kind of sitting. Sorry for saying that. It has been postponed for several times, and bring in the chairperson to be part of the meeting. And I hope as a whip, you will be able to speak sense to the chairperson, because he's giving you problems. Definitely, he's giving you problems, because initially we said, when you say we are seconding a certain member, applicant, you need to motivate. So how is Mantuli going to motivate? She can't motivate on behalf of somebody. That will be fraud. So definitely we need to see this exercise going well, and we mustn't play under dispute. So I understand, yes, there is a serious problem about chair, but please, as a whip of the committee, you need to go back and speak sense to chair. He mustn't throw you under the bus, because now it's your problem. It's no longer his problem, but he's the one who caused this problem. You can't do what he has been doing. No, that is not proper, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Sibisi. Honorable Coman, then Honorable Malumane, Honorable Kibi.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I was listening carefully to the content advisor's advice. But Chair, it can't be that he says Honorable Ntuli will come in at the event of the voting. It can't be, Chair, as if we are foreseeing any voting. But the purpose of this sitting is not to vote, it's to deliberate, to get to the best of the best. And then, Chair, I'm a little bit worried. I think we also need a legal advice on this matter, because we cannot only rely with the advice that says Mentuli would have taken notes from the chair and this and that. Chair, I'm worried, because we cannot participate in an unfair procedure. This is unfair, not only for the committee, but over and above for the people who participated, who were interviewed, because every member's contribution is important. So how would we personally feel if this process would be done to us? And like, Chair, we are Parliament. We are really Parliament. If the chairperson, the unavailability of the chairperson even costed us the head during the oversight, why now? And then if we have postponed several meetings due to the chairperson's unavailability, so now what about this crucial appointment? We're speaking lives of the people here, lives of the applicants. What is it that now warrants us to continue, come rain or sunshine, that we should continue because we don't want to be delayed? What delay, Chair? We have been delayed. We are delayed. But here is a matter, it's not only a matter of principle, but it's a matter of legality. Chair, I don't want to sit in a committee which unprocedurally appointed a person or unfairly appointed a person. Chair, I'm of the view that we can't. I don't know what should be said. I don't have a better way. But Chair, we cannot be sitting in a committee, especially with the advice that we got from the content advisor. This advice is still advising us. I'm sorry, Chair. But I think we must come to a resolution of what is happening. But Chair, we can't. I'm not saying Mantuli cannot replace on the member, but at this stage, it is imperative that we don't deal with such matters. Thank you very much for now.
Thank you, Honorable Komane, Honorable Malumane, and then Honorable Kibi.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I'm Honorable Malumane, sitting in this subcommittee representing the party, which is the ANC. When I'm sitting in the meeting representing the party, which is the ANC, I've got a mandate to go and report back in each and everything that is happening in the committee, the first thing. The second thing is that whatever that we do as parliament is streamlined on TV, on our channel, which is a parliament channel, on YouTube and everywhere. And everyone, even South Africans that are not part of the subcommittee, they can follow what is happening during the interviews or how are the people the candidates that we interview maybe responding to our questions while we ask questions. So in my view, I don't think it will be the challenge unless if maybe we have given Mantuli an opportunity to say, Mantuli, here we are. How are you going to participate? Maybe she did follow as part of the committee member on our streamline. The party which is she is representing the ANC after each and every sitting has given back to its own political party. That will be my view. But if we say we postpone this meeting because of the issue that Mantul cannot participate, that means now we're saying in the ANC, only 3 people can participate, not even 4 members can participate. So I'm pleading that maybe can we continue with this sitting today so that we finalize this appointment so that the vacancy can be closed. That is my plea. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Kibi.
Malumane.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I also want to come in on this one. Comrade, honorable members, what we need to remember is that ANC members are representing the ANC in caucus. And indeed, at no stage that a member cannot be replaced from all caucuses. Now, I'm coming to the issue of, if honorable members still remember, in the past when Honorable Schreiber was still a member of the subcommittee, there was a time where he could not make it to the second day of the interviews. He requested someone from his party to represent him. We allowed that person to come in and represent Honorable Schreiber, because it is a caucus decision of their party. And whatever she is going to be doing will be a mandate from her party. So this, the issue of Mantuli is not different from what we have already done in the past with the representative of the DA. So I'm appealing to all of us, honorable members, let us not delay this process further, because this is not for the first time. This has happened before. Say, for instance, if Honorable James was deployed by the organization to another, maybe a party deployment, what would have happened? Were we going to say we cannot proceed because Honorable James has been deployed out of the subcommittee or out of the committee that we are serving in? Honorable Ntuli here is carrying the mandate of the caucus of the ANC as an ANC member. Please, honorable members, can we proceed with this meeting and do the right thing? Thanks, Honorable Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Ntuli. Honorable Kondo, I see your hand again. Do you want to respond to what has been said by Honorable Kibi now?
Chair?
Yes.
I was going to agree with Honorable Omane. Can we get legal advice on this issue? Because the example that Honorable Kibi is giving is very different. The person sat in on the second day of interviews. They didn't sit in and they were part of the process at least. But Mantuli is coming in at the tail end when we are deliberating on which names to put forward. They are totally different. So I would agree with Honorable Komane that we seek legal advice on whether we can have a totally different person come on board at this late stage when we are going to put forward names. Thank you.
Chairperson?
Mr. Ngwebe, yes, Mr. Mabe.
Yeah.
Can I just come in, Chair? Julius, and then you can come after me through you, Chair.
Okay, Masi, and then Mr. Mabe.
Yes, thank you so much. Good afternoon, honorable members. I think also maybe Julius will touch base on this part because I wanted to come on the part of a procedure in terms of the legality around getting one member from the main committee to come and represent its own party in the subcommittee, Chair. The true consultation with my unit manager, Chair, around this particular matter, because it is a matter that she was aware prior this particular meeting. And I was advised that Chairperson, legally, we are correct to get a member from the main committee to represent its own political party into the subcommittee. So I was trying to cover, Chair, the comments and the sentiments that are raised by Honorable Komane and Honorable Gondo around the legal advice, to say that that particular exercise was ventured into in terms of consulting as to what would then happen in this particular crisis that we're faced on, Chair. I thank you, Chair. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Masi and Mr. Ngwebe.
Yeah, no, Chair, I think with what Masi has just clarified, there's nothing much to add, but even the rules, even members can look at the rules book, 9th edition. There's nothing unprocedural that the committee is doing or illegal that the committee is doing now. The honorable that has replaced the chairperson is a member of the parent committee. So we will always have such kind of eventualities. So I will advise the chair that we proceed with the meeting.
Thank you very much. Honorable Ntuli, can you lower your hand? And again, Honorable Komane, do you want to speak? Because I must conclude this discussion.
Oh, thanks, Chair. I wanted to correct the statement that the other political parties and the president. What we are referring to now is the stage at which we are. But I still maintain, can the committee seek legal advice? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Komane. Honorable members, with due respect, I will request that we proceed, and I will also request that we proceed one based on the advice from the support staff, and obvious must have also, inquired to the senior management of Parliament. So now I will request that we proceed, honorable members, and all of us here, including myself, we've got our own notes of the processes of the 8th of March 2023, and all of us. Yes, we all agree that Honorable Ntuli was not part of the processes, but however, we are given the responsibility as Parliament that whatever activity happening in the portfolio committee must always follow on live stream, on YouTube, on 408, and of which I understand that Honorable Kipi, as a member of the portfolio committee of PSA, has followed this process. But however, yes, in terms of what happened inside physically, all of us as honorable members were there. So I will request that we proceed, because we've been honorable members postponing, and of which you have also, all of you, indicated that it's almost a month when we rescheduling this meeting, and of which now here we are. Let's all of us make sure that we proceed with this meeting, especially a task that we all of us given by Parliament to fill this vacancy of the PSC. I think it's important now, because in the middle of all the activities, there were disruptions. But now, honorable members, I will, with due request, I'm requesting all of you that we conclude with this process and recommend a person to fill this vacancy, so that we take our report to Parliament and then to the President for appointment. We have noted all your concerns in terms of this process, legal and otherwise, but it's important that we must also note that we've got responsibility, all of us, whether we are part of the subcommittee, as long as we belong to the portfolio committee, we must follow all the activities, because definitely Honorable Kibi has spoken about unforeseen circumstances, and of which we all know that if then there's that in all of us, whether we belong to a particular political party, we always replace each other. So I think I will, with your request, I'm humbly requesting that let's proceed. I can see again the hand of Honorable Komani. Honorable Komani.
Yeah, Chair, it was a legacy hand. Thank you very much.
So can we proceed, honorable members?
Chair,
Yes, Honorable Kondwe.
we can proceed, but I would ask that our concerns around involving Mantuli at this late stage be noted. And I would humbly request that you, as the whip, you follow up on Honorable James and his recurring absences from our portfolio committee meetings, more especially this subcommittee. We are very concerned, Chair. It's something that has been a long time coming, and I'm glad this meeting has offered us an opportunity to air our grievances around his continued absences, especially when we have critical meetings. Thank you.
No, thank you very much, Honorable Kondwe and honorable members. We can proceed. And I think Mercy is here, and all the support staff, all your issues, your concerns, honorable members, have been noted by all of us, and with the support staff. We can proceed to the next item, and I will then request that move to an item of consideration and adoption of the outstanding minutes of this subcommittee. Over to you, Mr. Mwepe.
No, it's Mercy, Chair. Thank you so much, Chair.
Oh, Mercy, sorry.
Yes, I am already on page 1, Chair. Just want to double check if you can see the document, Chair.
Yes.
Correct, Chair. Thank you so much. I'm on page 1, Chairperson. These are the minutes, the only minutes of the 8th, where the committee conducted interviews, Chairperson. I am on page 1, 8 March 2023. Page 1. Attendance register. And then page 2, Chair. These minutes were sent also, Chair, to honorable members. I'm on page 2, Chair. That's the last page, Chairperson. Thank you so much. These are the minutes of the 8th of March, Chairperson. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mercy. Honorable members, these are the minutes of the 8th of March. Any issue on the content of these minutes, honorable members?
Thank you, Honorable Spacey. I move for the adoption of the minutes.
Thank you very much, Honorable Spacey. The minutes has been adopted. And then Kibi or Malumane?
I second the adoption, Honorable Chair. Thank you.
Honorable Kibi seconding adoption of the minutes. So the minutes of the 8th of March 2023 has been adopted by the subcommittee. Thank you. The next item, honorable members, is the deliberations on the recommended candidate to be selected to serve as a commissioner of the Public Service Commissioner. I will request that before we start with our deliberations, Mr. Mwepe or Mr. Biela, whoever is appointed to take us through on the letter that was sent, I think twice, to us as honorable members and advice on this process, so that when we deliberate, we are sure of what must happen as we recommend to fill this vacancy. Then I will give to Mr. Mwepe or Mr. Biela, whoever that has been appointed, to take us through, so that we don't just zoom into the deliberations without understanding the document itself as it was sent to us for in the previous 3 weeks, and also even during the course of this week. I think I saw there was a resent to all of us. Thank you.
Thanks, Chairperson. This document was written after we have been monitoring the developments of the Portfolio Committee on Communication and Digital and Telecommunication, and telecommunication. Honorable Chairperson, as before, was the reason why this advice has been written was to benchmark with what the Portfolio Committee on Communication is doing after they've received a letter from the President requesting the Portfolio Committee to reconsider their position, because the Portfolio Committee on Communications have, I would say, have recommended 15 candidates, whereas in terms of the Act, they were supposed to recommend only 12 candidates. So the President has, at that time, has returned the recommended candidates, of which there were 15, back to the National Assembly, back to the Portfolio Committee, for the Portfolio Committee to be specific in terms of who are they recommending, instead of the President just having a pool and then recommending. So the advice was just to say, Honorable Chair, I believe members have read it, and then even the last week, I think it was last week, when the Portfolio Committee concluded, they've recommended 12 candidates for the President, of which 12 candidates, but then within that 15, then they've included other candidates in case the security clearance. But by that time, the Portfolio Committee on Communication, they have already received the State Security Agency report, like we are sitting with the report today. So, but then they've recommended 12 candidates, which the President then appointed. I think that was yesterday or on Monday. then appointed. So with regards to our portfolio committee, we are filling only one vacancy, Honorable Chair. But at that time, my advice was to say, if we appoint, we can appoint 2 or 3, we can recommend 2 or 3, but then we have to then categorize in terms of what is the preference of the committee, in terms of rather than just saying these are the pool of names, but you're not saying to the president or to the National Assembly or who is the preference to be recommended as a commissioner for the Public Service Commission. So I don't want to say for now, or of which from my preferences was just to say let's appoint, not to say my advice, not to say my preference. Sorry, I'm retracting that word, honorable members. My advice was to say, based on the report that we have from the State Security Agency, I will advise that we go for only one candidate that will be recommended in the report, without even mentioning others, unless if the subcommittee feel that let's go for 2, then we can have 1 in case number 1. But then we do have the report of the State Security Agency. So if the report is there, then even when it reached the office of the presidency, supported by that State Security Agency report, the president won't have much more, because the National Assembly is empowered by the Constitution to recommend 5 commissioners for the Public Service Commission. So that's my submission, Honorable Chair, to the subcommittee members. So I didn't want to read everything in that we've put here, but it was clear in terms of what is it that we are seeking to achieve out of this process, learning from the Portfolio Committee on Public on Communication. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Mwepe. So that when we discuss this point, can you also just quickly so that we all discuss the 2 reports, also zoom into that state security report?
Okay, Chair, I would advise, I think Umaswale can deal with that report, but I would, as we normally do, we should not put it on, because our meeting is live. So Umaswale will just indicate, I believe members have got the report, so we'll just say candidate number 1 based on that report, but it's not going to project it.
Okay.
Yeah, then for the protection of the security of the candidates.
Yeah, then so that at least even if you have not mentioned their names, just for the people of South Africa, so that they must understand that as part of our responsibility was to make sure that we don't deliberate with our candidates except that they've been cleared and whatever. So I will just, as part of making sure that they understand when we speak about the state's security analytical report, I will wish that Omas just briefly, without mentioning their names.
Thanks, Chair. Yes, indeed, we did submit the names of the candidates for vetting, Chair. And then subsequently, we did receive the final document for all the candidates, Chairperson. And of which, though, the very same document was then submitted to the subcommittee, Chair. All members have got that particular document. That clearly I gives an indication to members on the status of all the candidates. Thank you so much, Chair.
No, thank you very much, Mr. Mwepe and Masi. Honorable members, that's the presentation, which is the first presentation as per the advice on the recommendation of a person to be recommended to the NA and then to the president for appointment. And secondly, the brief report of what was part of our responsibility of making sure that all these candidates, they are taken for security checks, and of which yes, that responsibility was done. And then there was a final document that was sent to all of you, and you will know that their status individual honorable members. So let's discuss those points and then move to the next item. I only see one name, one hand of Honorable Kibi.
Yeah, thanks, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, mine will be to recommend that we only identify one candidate, Honorable Chair. It will be pointless for us to go maybe for 2 or 3 candidates, whereas we know that we only have one vacancy, and according to the clarification that were given by Mr. Ngwepe, so it is only that we can recommend one candidate to the president. Thanks, Chair. For now, it's only that.
Thank you very much, Honorable Kibi. I can see the hand of Honorable Gondwe. You will come in, Mr. Ngwepe.
Okay.
Honorable Gondwe, okay.
Thank you very much, Chair. Can I go ahead, Chair?
Yes, go ahead, Dr. Gondwe.
Thank you very much, Chair, Honorable Ngweba. I was going to agree with Mekibi that we propose the name of one person, or we put forward the name of one person to the National Assembly, given that the vetting reports that we received from the SSA do not really flag any considerable impediment towards the appointment of any of the candidates that we have actually interviewed and that were shortlisted. So I would agree with Honorable Kibi that we put forward the name of one person. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Ngwepe?
Yeah, no, I'm covered, Chairperson. You can proceed. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Honorable Malumane, your hand has been lowered, or do you want to say something?
No, Chair, I'm covered.
No, thank you very much, honorable members. The next item, honorable members, is then the consideration and the adoption of the recommended candidates to serve as commissioners of the Public Service Commission, which means now we are in the process of deliberating on our candidates. And after we then, because I think we all agree that we must recommend one name. So I will then, if we're all covered with all the other processes, so that I don't assume that we are all covered. I can't see hands now, which means if there's no hands to the previous discussions, it means we can move now, honorable members, to the deliberations. I will then take hands, honorable members. Honorable Kibi, I only see one hand. Honorable Kibi, over to you.
Thanks, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, one is really
okay. Just hold on, Honorable Kibi. Just hold on. Honorable members, I'm not sure if we just speak about, because I can't remember that we've got number whatever. So I must also ask yourselves if we just zoom into names or whatever, and I'll be assisted by yourselves, honorable members, or Mr. Ngwepe.
Yeah, for now, Honorable Chair, I think it would be good that we stick to the. I don't know if we still have that numbering, because if we'll be discussing name, automatically it might. But maybe if members can subject themselves to numbers. I don't know how are we going to do it, but then instead of Mr. Mwepe, we recommend Mr. Mwepe, the other members say the next time, just to protect the whole, and then we'll then agree at the end of members say number one candidate was so and so. I think we can proceed in that way, just to protect the names of the candidates, because for sure there will be members will have to influence one another on different names.
No, thank you very much, Mr. Ngwep. Mas, can you help us with, I'm trying to look at my documents, if you can quickly give us numbers or letters for the 6 candidates. You can even send us to the groups, the subcommittee group, so that as we deliberate, we don't mention their names, because definitely they are following this meeting today. Please, there's a hand. Okay. Honorable Komane, Honorable Gondwe, Honorable Sibisi, and Honorable Gaby.
I go chair, you are out of order.
Honorable Kibi, Honorable Komane, no, wait, Mom, Honorable Komane, Honorable Gondwe, Honorable Sibisi, and Honorable Kibi.
Chair, thank you very much once more. But Chair, I don't know if I'm differing, because precedents should prevail as well. But in the previous process that we undertook when we appointed commissioners, 3, when on our engagements, we never used the numbers. And maybe if we agree on using the numbers, because where we are, we use the, when we on our preparations, we use the previous precedents. So maybe if we can be taken on, maybe refreshed which one was number who, because I think we have done away with the numbers where after we have shortlisted, because the numbers we use them for shortlisting, and then hence on our interviews we never used numbers, but we used the names. We only referred to their CVs and everything as for their numbers. But now, having gone through that, one has prepared using the names, because names are appropriate for now. But I don't know, subject to be corrected. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Komane. Honorable Gondwe.
Chair, I am partially covered by Honorable Komane, because I was also confused as to which numbers are we using. Are we using the numbers on the CVs or the order in which they were interviewed? So we need clarity on that. And then if we're going to use the numbering, I would agree with you that Masi needs to give us an indication of who is number 1 or numbers up to number 6. I think you were alluding to the fact that we may have to use the order in which they were interviewed. So we would really need your assistance there, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gondwe. Honorable Sibisi.
Thank you, Chair. Although I wish to share the same sentiments with my previous colleagues, that now in terms of giving them, we're not given numbers, or we should use the previous numbers. But nevertheless, I've got my candidate. While I'm defeated, I was having 2 candidates, but unfortunately, it means I lost. I'm not sure whether the chairperson is ready for me to pronounce my candidate.
No, I will give it to you, Honorable Smith. Let's hear Honorable Kibi then and proceed.
Yes, Chair. Then after I'll propose something.
Maybe Chair, let me allow Mr. Masi to propose, because me now with the numbering that you have spoken about, I was looking at the numbering of the report that we received, the security screening investigations. I was looking at it, intending to use that one as the numbering. I'm not sure. Thanks, Chair.
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Kibi. Mr. Massey?
Yes, I was also going to just propose that I've just sent the members now the interview schedule. So maybe perhaps members can use that interview schedule because it has got 6 candidates and they are sorted there. Then members can perhaps use that particular schedule, Chair.
Thank you very much, Massey. You will use, honorable members, the interview schedule, and I will then, if we're all comfortable, proceed and give Honorable Sibisi. Honorable Sibisi and then Honorable Gondwe. Honorable Sibisi.
Yes, Honorable Chair. I've got a problem. I'm not part of the group, so I might not receive the schedule that Mascol is sending. Then I don't know what should I do.
Okay, while you are being sorted by Mascole, I will give to Honorable Gondwe.
Yeah, Leboga, Chairperson. Thank you very much, Chairperson. Chair, can you hear me?
Yes, Dr. Gondwe, can hear you.
All right, thank you very much, Chairperson. My preferred candidate for this position is candidate 6. Yes, candidate 6, granted, I think when he made his presentation, he didn't explicitly define what deviant behavior is. I don't know if you recall, Chair, there was a question around deviant behavior and what it means. And but he came out very strong regarding his first chosen topic or issue on if officials doing business with the state. What stood out for me, Chair, was that his presentation first outlined the founding values of the Public Service Commission as per the Constitution, and then he moved on to discussing the detailed legislative framework regulating, this conduct, namely doing business with the state. And he also made mention of lifestyle audits and the annual financial disclosures that officials are expected to complete. His presentation also touched on other disclosures that officials are expected to make to the PSC. And this is something that the other candidates didn't really do. So he touched on disclosures around other remunerative work outside of the public service, conflicts of interest and gifts and hospitality. What also impressed me about this particular candidate was that he included statistics in his presentation on financial misconduct by officials and the cost of that misconduct as per the Attorney General of South Africa. And he also concluded his presentation by providing solutions to the issue of officials conducting business with the state. Regarding his second chosen issue or topic on discipline management, the candidate also stood out for me because he started by saying that there are 2 areas that managers in the public service are loath to implement, and that is the area of discipline management and the area of performance management. And so he suggested that as a way of getting managers to actually deal with discipline management effectively was to have it included in their performance agreements. And he also indicated that another way of dealing with discipline management, because I like to say that we have a discipline management crisis within the public service, was to ensure that suspensions are not the first reaction to a transgression by an official. And whatever sanction is imposed, that sanction must always be commensurate to the transgression that an official has committed. He also stressed that suspensions were not the only manner in which officials can be disciplined in the public service, and should ideally be used where there's a prima facie case to be made out, and where it can be shown that an official will be a threat to the disciplinary process. He also said that officials can be stopped from doing business with the state if all departments follow procurement processes to the letter. And what also stood out for me about this candidate was he suggested that this issue of officials doing business by the state should become an auditable area that can be audited by the Auditor General. And so he really impressed me in the sense that whenever he pointed out an issue, he'd always try and offer a solution to that particular issue. Regarding his response to the follow-up questions, I think generally for me, he displayed a very strong understanding of the purpose and the role of lifestyle audits and annual financial disclosures as a means of detecting and uprooting corruption in the public service, and even offered practical examples in his responses to follow-up question. Regarding his CV, yes, granted he has strong experience in the fields of education and monitoring and evaluation. But I think these can really benefit the Public Service Commission. I think it's also important to point out that he's also published a number of scholarly contributions and presented papers at international conferences in the areas of monitoring and evaluation, especially. And M&E is crucial for a position such as this one. He also has previous work experience in the Public Service Commission, where he was a Deputy Director of M&E, and while working at the Public Service Commission, he contributed towards report writing and research, and also developed M&E tools. So that is a strength for him, and should really assist him in terms of understanding how the Public Service Commission functions and operates. The fact that he's been there really is a bonus. He is currently the Senior Manager for M&E at GPAA, and I want to reiterate that his wide-ranging experience in M&E can definitely benefit the Public Service Commission. So for me, that candidate number 6 is the one that came out very strong. He's enthusiastic, and I think he can contribute towards the current trajectory of the Public Service Commission. You know, Chair, that under Professor Fikeni, the PSC is really trying to reposition itself and redefine its role in the public service, and to also, contribute positively towards the effective functioning of the Public Service Commission. So I think this gentleman would be a fit for the PSC. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Dr. Gondwe. Thank you very much. Honorable Kiwi. Okay. Oh, Honorable Smith, I can see you are ready.
Honorable Chair, can make it become, I'm trying to sort my network, please. I will raise my hand again, please.
Oh, that's fine, Honorable Kibi.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Honorable Chair, having listened to the Honorable Gondwe, I just want to throw in my candidate. Although I am not going to go very far, this candidate is a candidate that I think has also responded adequately to all the questions that we asked in the interviews, and also qualification-wise, the candidate does qualify. And also looking at the the outcome of the security screening investigations, Honorable Chair, because I'm looking at it in terms of identifying the suitable candidate for us to propose to this platform. My candidate, Honorable Chair, is candidate number 5 that I think can really assist and take us forward, looking at his experience and also his qualifications. It's exactly what we want. And also his performance. I was comfortable with the performance of the candidate. So on our list, candidate number 5. I thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Kibi. Honorable Sibisi.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I'm also putting the name or the number, which is number 5. When you look at his CV, the experience that he has, the qualities that he displayed on the CV, and seemingly it's like he has done this PSC, or he has an experience of PSC before. So I think he can be able again to take our PSC forward, and he will assist. And another factor that makes me support him is that out of all the PSCs that we have interviewed, they were all coming from one race, which was the African. So I think it will be proper for us to put another guy there, more especially a white guy or it's a colored guy, to add on the PSC so that it cannot look like we are only going for the Africans. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Sibisi, Honorable Komane, Honorable Malumane. Honorable Komane.
Chair?
Yes, Honorable Komane.
I don't know. I'm struggling with my network. Can I have 2 minutes? I will come back.
Okay. Honorable Malumane.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I'd also like to put my candidate, the best candidate that I've seen is candidate number 5. Candidate number 5, in the follow-up question, even though he didn't mention or did not define the issue of deviant behavior, but he chose the issue of, in his presentation of official doing business with the state. I think he also mentioned the issues of Zondo commissions, the corruptions on how these things are affecting us, how the state should intervene and so that it can correct itself. On the issue of monitoring of ethical behavior, he stated those things. And also on the questions that we did ask him, he responded correctly. So that's why I'm saying candidate number 5. I think he will be the best candidate. And also taking into consideration the issue of race or the issue of color, to say he was the only colored or white or of the other race. So I'm also seconding that we nominate or we recommend him as the best candidate. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Malumane. Honorable Komade.
Chair, thank you very much once more. I hope my network does not catch up with me. Chair, anyway, I'm defeated by the state security checking. However, I had 2 names, of which one has fallen out. I am of the view that we should take number 5, because one, he did not adequately answer to the deviant behavior. However, he has outstandingly presented us, and then he has got the background of the PSC, even though he has not worked in it, by virtue of him having answered the way he has. And over and above, Chair, I think we should have a multi-race commission that would speak to multiracial gender balance and the others. So I would not speak much because I'm already defeated. My candidate was scrapped off, so I had to fall on that one. Thank you very much.
Chair, are we still together?
No, thank you very much. Honorable Gibe, I've got a problem again of my network. I'm not sure whether I must also proceed.
Yes, Chair, we would love to hear you.
No, thank you very much, honorable members. From my side, the candidate that I will recommend, I think one, in terms of his response to the questions, seemed to understand the PSC mandate, the vision and its mission. But also he was very accurate in terms of how we deal with ethics in the public sector, and how ethics are also very serious, a very serious challenge in our country, especially in all spheres of government, And also he spoke about how resources must be used and how the public sector must be able to account. And he further spoke about the important matter, and of which that is part of our responsibility as this portfolio committee on the issue of monitoring and evaluation of all our levels of government, including our entities. And also, he spoke about the conduct, the code of conduct in our public sector, and further spoke about our tripling of economy, because there's corruption in all our levels of government, and more in the local government. And also, I think then I will say to yourselves, based on and I think one thing also, I think as part of his response was our democratic government being dented because of how our public sector is not professionalized, and of which, as we move towards that framework in terms of making sure that we professionalize our public sector, I think he will be able to embrace also all the skills to the Public Service Commission, and especially that we interviewed candidates last year, and we then found out that all those candidates were best of the best, and they were, in their responses, were clear that they want to see things right in terms of the public sector, and of which I think his skills then will then embrace all those skills in the PSC, and of which then also I think that candidate will also cover the demographics. I know when we presented our report last year, honorable members, all of us from all angles, we spoke about covering the demographics as far as the Public Service Commission, and of which that candidate, honorable members, is candidate number 5. So I think we will then also, because we have motivated all candidates and the 6 of us, and I will then request that Umasi and Mr. Mwebe assist us in terms of checking in our list who then becomes the first candidate, honorable members, except there's something where we didn't do as honorable members, but I can see there's a hand of Dr. Gondwe.
Chair?
Gondwe.
Yes, I was going to, I will raise my point afterwards. You can go ahead, Chair.
No, thank you very much, Honorable Dr. Gondwe. Mr. Mwepen and Masi, can you help the subcommittee?
Yeah.
Okay, Chair. I just looked now that on the list in terms of members who have spoken. I see Ms. Tuli didn't perhaps say anything, but I suspect she will then also maybe follow suit. I'm not sure, Chair, you will guide me, but at this current juncture, number 5 is the one that has been nominated by most members, Chair. Thank you so much, Chair.
No, thank you very much, Masi. Let's, I think, colleagues, let's agree that at least the 6 of us were part of this process, and we will give Honorable Ntulis to speak when we have concluded this important, so that what have been raised by honorable members must be respected by all of us, and of which the 6 of us at least were part of this process. Yes, Honorable Ntuli is part of us, as she's replacing the Honorable Chair from our organization. But on this part, I think the 6 of us were relevant that we speak on this issue. But I think, Masi and honorable members, now we've done our part, and then we can share. Yes, Dr. Kon.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Chair. I would appreciate it if you could note my objection to the name of this candidate being forwarded, Chair. I don't feel that he is the strongest candidate in this instance. I'm not even convinced that he did well in his presentation, and his CV, for me, his work experience does not tie into the Public Service Commission, its mandate and its functions. So please, I would like to just register my objection to candidate number 5. Thank you very much.
No, thank you very much, Dr. Gondwe. I think according to Masi, is that the recommended candidate to Parliament then to the President is candidate number 5. And because I see that before I conclude, I can see the hand of Honorable Kibi.
Yeah, thanks, Honorable Chair. I think the suggestion was that, Chair, we should also allow Honorable Ntuli to speak, but I just want to draw the attention of Honorable Gondwe to the outcome of the securities screening investigations onto the issue. Thanks, Honorable Chair.
Can you repeat yourself, Honorable Kibi? I've got a network problem.
I'm saying, Honorable Chair, there was a suggestion that we should allow Honorable Ntuli also to say something, although she was not part, but all of us are allowed to speak here. But I also, in addition, said, I want to draw the attention of Honorable Gondwe, based on what she said at the end of, yes, at the end, where I draw her attention to the outcome of the security screening investigations in terms of the candidate that she is proposing. Thanks, Honorable Chair.
Mekibi, I'm well aware of what is contained in that. And for me, it has no bearing on the appointment. Thank you.
Thank you very much, honorable members. We must then note that this subcommittee have recommended candidate number 5 that will be then okay, yes, and then just before I will give Honorable Komane, I've seen the hand of Honorable Komane. I will also give Honorable Ntuli, and then anyone else who want to speak, honorable member, and then after give Mr. Mwebe.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Chair. Thank you very much, Chair. I want the committee to remember, particularly Honorable Gondo, when I spoke, I said, given the number 5 was not my preferred candidate, was not my number 1, but given the security checks, I had to fall for the following one on my list. Having said that, Chair, I think you have made a very commendable work, and by allowing the ones that were physically in attendance when we made the interview, so that we can deliberate. So I'm just responding to what was raised by Honorable Kibi to say it would be unfair for us to say, because having said that, the majority of us, 6 of us, have been part of the proceedings. So I'm not sure, but I'm not subject to be corrected as well. Are we saying Mama Ntuli should deliberate on the engagement, or are we saying she should maybe say something? I don't know, maybe subject to question, but I thought you have captured it. I thought you have captured it very well, Chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Komane. Let us give Mr. Mwebe to speak. Over to you, Mr. Mwebe.
Yeah, I think you are both correct, Honorable Ntulis, because it was not even on that. There was an advice that not an advice, a proposed guideline in terms of how are we going to proceed, and then it was clear that in case if one member was not part of the interview, when it comes to deliberations, the member, because he was not part of the physical interviews, then he has got a right to remain silent, and other members will then deliberate. Then the member will have to support whatever decision that the committee would want to take at the end of this. So there's nothing that would then force Honorable Ntuli to speak, but then to be part of the collective decision that will be taken by members of the subcommittee that are represented here. But I just wanted, Honorable Chair, through you, just to share the report we have. I think this report has been circulated a long time ago. We're just only waiting for the name, because we have to table this report to the main committee, just to highlight a few things there and there. But then I'm not going to go through each and every page of the report to just to be sure that just to read the recommendations. Then the rest of the report will be circulated at a later stage. If am I allowed, Chairperson?
Yes, you're allowed, Mr. Ngwe.
Okay. Yeah. In terms of the recommendation based on your deliberations, selection of one candidate, the recommendations of the report 21, we say the committee resolved to recommend Mr. Andrew Vincent Mageman to the National Assembly in terms of section 1968A of the Constitution for the appointment by the President to serve as a commissioner, as a commissioner for the Public Service Commission. And according to section 19610 of the Constitution, the commission is appointed for a term of 5 years, which is eligible for one additional term. 5.2, in terms of the Public Service Commission Act of 1997, once appointed, a commissioner shall not hold office in any political party or political organization. A commissioner shall not, without the consent of the president, perform or engage himself or herself to perform any remunerative work outside the duties of his or her office. The provision of the Public Service Commission Act of 1999 ensure that commission remains independent, impartial from political influence. And then in conclusion, the portfolio committee is therefore confident that the above recommended candidate for the appointment has a clear understanding, expertise, skills, and knowledge of the mandate of the Public Service Commission. And just to highlight that the fact that normally we'll have political parties expressing their position, like what Honorable Gondo has already indicated. That part is covered in the minutes of this proceeding, not in the report. So it won't be reflected in the report, but then in the minutes, and then even when you debate, their position can also be expressed in the way. Thanks, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mwepe. This is the document, honorable members. Anything else from yourselves? Honorable members? Honorable Maluma?
Honorable. Okay.
None, Honorable Chair.
Honorable Chair, okay, may we?
Yes, Honorable.
Yeah, thanks, Honorable Chair. Yes, to come in on the issue of maybe that was raised, not knowing what Honorable Ntuli would be saying because she was not part of the processes and she cannot recommend or whatever, but just to make sure that we are together in this decision. That's why one expected her to say something. Maybe, yeah, that's it. Otherwise, there's nothing more from my side. I'm fine, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable KB. That's the So thank you very much, honorable members. I think Honorable Kibi has adopted, Honorable Kibi has adopted this report on our recommendation to Parliament. Any seconder for Honorable Kibi?
I'm seconding, Honorable Chair.
No, thank you very much, honorable members. This report or this recommendation has been adopted, and we also note the reservations from the DA, from Honorable Gondwe. And I'm not sure, I think the last item now, I think it's closure. And we will then take this report to the portfolio committee, then the report to Parliament. However, as we close this meeting, thank you very much to our support staff, Astole, Masi, Biela, Ms. Dia, all of you. Thank you very much. And Mr. Tembe, Sephora, thank you very much, guys. And thank you very much. I know sometimes we always delay our meetings, and of which also disrupt your programs. So, but at the end of the day, we always thank you guys for your guidance, and also, your patience, to this committee. And I want to say also thank you very much, honorable members. We know all of us, we've been rescheduling this meeting, and obviously we all wanted that this report go through so that we present once and for all in Parliament. But for today, to have this meeting at this time in the afternoon, we were humbly thanking you, honorable members. And we know that we've got problems of network sometimes, and obviously we're also busy with our oversight and some of us, our constituency work. But here we are, at least we have concluded this process, and we are all ready to take it to the portfolio committee as the portfolio committee report, and also then to Parliament. And thank you very much, honorable members. That will be the end of this meeting. Thank you, and goodbye.